What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be doing a re-clear of the spoiler and going to be installing the center console and the shifter boot. Well, this is not the center console, but it's the covering for the center console. And I'll show you guys a little bit closer on the spoiler. So this is how the spoiler looks indoors. I don't know if you guys were able to see it last week, but you can see it's kind of like a misty spot right here, right here, right here. It differs by the light, but I'm going to be trying to fix that while sanding today. So I'll show you guys how I sand it down and then I'll install these two. Alright, let's get to it. I'm going to be wet sanding the spoiler with 2000 grit sandpaper. I had this from last time and I think it's I guess it has enough grit so it doesn't damage the spoiler, but just enough so that it makes the waviness go away. So with this, I'm gonna soak it in water and spray down the spoiler with water. Then I'm gonna start wet sanding. I'm so glad that this was at my parents' place. So if I hadn't told you guys before, I've always been doing all my car modifications at my parents' place because it's a little bit better. Well, a lot bit better because I live in an apartment where the garage is tiny and I have no space to work. So this thing is a lifesaver. I don't want to do this on the car because a lot of white stains come out while you wet sand. So doing this on the ground is a lot better, and I'll show you guys the aftermath of wet sanding. Alright, so the sanding is done and I'm going to give it a little wash with water, and after that we're gonna have to do a little bit of polishing. I have some polish in the garage and then I'm gonna polish it out and then I'll probably do a wax, and that should make the wing look brand new. Alright guys, so this is what I was talking about earlier. When you do wet sanding on the car, you see all these white spots? That's gonna get in every nook and cranny of the car. So that's why I took it off and then did it on top of this thing. It's a clothing hanger. But yeah, okay, so the next part we're going to be doing ultra cut compound, then polish, then wax. Alright, so normally we're supposed to be doing this with a buffer machine, but the last time I used it I cracked the wing, so I don't want that to happen again. So I'm going to be doing it with a microfiber towel. So as you can already see, just from the first buffing, it's so much cleaner. So I'm going to buff the rest of it and I'll show you guys the process. Alright guys, so I just finished using the cutting compound and this is how the wing looks now. So much cleaner, right guys? Look at that. I think this was the part that was completely cracked. I guess it's really noticeable still, but I mean, considering this is just a sandpaper and clear coat, I think it turned out alright. Now for polish. So this is after the polish. This is what makes it shine. I mean, the wax will probably make it shine more, but look at that guys. Do you guys remember how cracked it was? That's amazing. Alright, so now it's the final step. I'm going to be waxing it. Alright, so this is the wax portion. I'm going to be wiping it down or spreading it, and then for wax you have to spread it first and then there's going to be a thin layer of wax, and then afterwards, maybe about a minute or two later, you could wipe it off and it'll become really shiny. Alright, so this is how it looks like in the sun. I'm not sure if you guys could see that, but there's a lot of waves. It's kind of murky, but that's just the wax. That's how it looks. Here. Hopefully you guys could see that, but as soon as you start wiping, it's going to become crystal clear. So I'll show you guys that right now. Make sure this doesn't roll. Alright, do you guys see that? This side compared to that side? That's insane. Alright guys, so we're done. It's so crystal clear. Like, look at that, guys. Wow. I think it's time to install it on the car now. So I'm gonna do that and I'll show you guys how it looks on the car. The spoiler is finally installed. It looks so much cleaner now. Paired with the new taillights, ooh, so clean. But I don't know. The Evo 8, Evo 9 spoiler looks a little aged. We just got the stimulus, so I was thinking maybe get a new spoiler, and maybe if we do, it would be the APR 67-inch. What do you guys think? I mean, the rest of the car is getting really modernized, and with the Evo 8, Evo 9 spoiler, it kind of looks a little off. I mean, I love the design of it, but I don't know. Might be time for a change. But look at that, guys. Almost all of the defects are gone. Like, look at that. Alright, so let's get to the interior and start installing the shift boot and the center console. Alright guys, so we're inside the car now, and I'm going to first remove the armrest slash center console. I'm not sure the exact name of it, but there's 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So here we go. Alright, so when you remove these top 2 screws, this piece is going to come off too. Alright, and this is how it should look like. A little bit of dust. Wipe it off. This part should come off. Alright. Okay, so from here, as you guys can see, there's a bunch of staples. That's what's holding in this little cloth portion. And to remove it, I guess we're gonna have to take off all the staples. Or what we can do is put the leather piece over it, I guess. Yeah, that'd probably be a lot easier to do. So I'm gonna go with that option. I'm going to cover the leather portion on top of this one, the stock. Because look at that, guys. It's all worn out. I mean, this is a 2013. I've had this car for almost 8 years now. So it's about time to replace it. So let's go get the leather cover piece and then I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I was trying to install the cover, but looks like I'm gonna have to take the whole thing out. So if you look at my short shifter install, you can see how I took out the whole console. So I'll just do a little fast forward. Looking underneath here, there are 2 screws. I think if I get to down here, I'll be able to take this out, and I think stapling it would be a lot easier. Okay, so yeah, there are 2 screws down here, and then I'm just gonna take these out, and I feel like this will come right off. Ow. Doing it like this, it'll be a lot easier, I feel, and let's try it out. So now we're on this portion, the shift boot. So the shift boot, I'm going to put on top of this first. And then if you look at the previous staples, there's 2 on each side. So last time I installed the shift boot, I never stapled it in, and I just put it on top, and it worked for a while, but I feel like stapling is a lot more secure. So for this staple, I'm probably going to do it 3 times on each side just to make it extra secure. Alright, it's fully stapled now. It's a little hard to put in. Okay, it looks like it's done right. So right now, all I have to do is put in the 4 screws, and then I'll show you guys what to do when we get inside. Okay, so to install the shifter boot, I'm gonna have to take off the shifter knob, and then the reason a zip tie was provided was because you're going to have to zip tie this to this portion. Then when you're doing it, you're gonna inverse this. So it'll kind of look like that, but in actuality, you're zip tying this portion so that it doesn't fall off. It's probably easier to show you guys what I mean. Huh. It was only this part that was carbon fiber. Alright. That works, I guess. I'm going to put this in. And when it gets to this part, I'm going to lift it back up. And you're going to zip tie. You're going to be able to feel it, but I'll show you guys right here. You're going to feel it. And then zip tie that portion so that it won't be able to come out. Alright, once you do that, it is pretty much done. You're going to want to cut this off. Cut this portion off, and when you put it back together, don't forget to plug in everything again. Alright, and that's your shift boot. I thought it was going to be a really short day just to re-clear the spoiler and install the shift boot and the center console armrest cover, but it took a lot longer than I thought. But look at the results, guys. This looks so much better than that little white highlight, not white highlight, but white outline that I had. Actually looks a lot nicer like this, I think. And this part, oh my god, that's a definite upgrade. I feel like Mitsubishi, it kind of cheaped out on the interior, but who buys an Evo just for the interior, right? It's for the performance. So I think that concludes our video for today. So don't forget to give me a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Later.